Welcome to our reflection for Good Friday. Reading The Observer last weekend, I came across an article by John Harris, a journalist whom I much respect for his work on social inequality. He was reflecting on his lack of religious faith and almost being jealous of those who do have a faith that can help them make sense of the current situation of pandemic and lockdown. He wrote, "Like millions of other faithless people, I have not even the flimsiest of narratives to project onto what has happened, nor any real vocabulary with which to talk about the profundities of life and death. Beyond a handful of close friends and colleagues and my immediate family, there has been no community of like minds with whom I have talked about how I am feeling or ritualistically marked the passing of all these grinding weeks and months." That made me realise how fortunate we are as members of a Christian community, that for all our challenges, we do have a story to share, which is full of meaning for our times and for our own hearts. It's the story of a God who is with God's people down the ages through all the ups and downs, as told us in different ways, from different perspectives, in the books of the Bible. A story that for us as Christians reaches its fulfillment in the story of Jesus. And today on Good Friday we come to the heart of that story as we remember the death of Jesus dying on a cross. The story that is at the heart of our Christian faith and remains so even when we celebrate the new life beyond death on Easter Day. It's a story that speaks in different ways to different people at different times. But it is a story that we all share. It is a story that different people give different meanings to, which can be a challenge and a mystery, but which in fact adds to its richness. As the world still struggles in the grip of the COVID pandemic, as we count the cost as individuals and as a society, and cling on to hope that soon it will end, the story of God's Son, Jesus, whom we seek to follow, to whom we offer our love, bearing such pain, facing despair, clinging on to hope, still speaks to us of a God who is with us, who travels alongside us in our pain, in our despair, as we cling on to hope this Good Friday, 2,000 years later.
When I survey the wondrous cross on which the
Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. Even in agony, Jesus offers forgiveness. In the face of violent death, Jesus offers the way to healing. With forgiveness, a new start becomes possible, not just for those Jesus is talking to, but for all. On the cross, we see not a wiping away of the past, but through the pain, through the suffering, a means of facing it and working through it. Not a forgiveness that says sin, injustice, oppression do not matter, but a path to truth and ultimately to reconciliation. We come to this story with our own stories, our own feelings, our own need to face the truth about ourselves, and our own longing for reconciliation with God. Gracious God, you know our need for forgiveness. You know our longings for restoration and renewal. As we hear the story of Good Friday, as we hear your words wrung out of your pain, speaking to us, Father, forgive them. Fill our hearts with your grace, that in all our anxieties we may know the assurance of your gracious love.
Come and see, come and see, come and see the King of Love. See the purple robe and crown of thorns he wears. Soldiers mock, rulers sneer, as he lifts the cruel cross. Lone and friendless now he climbs towards the hill. We worship at your feet, where wrath and mercy meet, and the guilty world is washed by love's pure stream. For us he was made sin, oh help me take it in. Deep wounds of love cry out, Father, forgive. I worship the Lamb who was slain.
In the pain, out of his own suffering, Jesus offers hope to the man alongside him on the cross. Jesus affirms the hope of new life even as they share the darkness of death together. Today, in the darkness of pandemic, we remember the hope that Jesus offers. The spring weather around us testifies to new life, as does the rollout of the vaccine. But it is not just a practical hope that things will get better. It is a hope in a God who does not let us go. The promise is not just of paradise, but also of relationship. In the future, as we turn to Christ, he will be with us in all things. That is the promise. Jesus on the cross does not deny the challenges we face, but promises to all who turn to him in whatever circumstances the possibility of a life-giving, loving relationship. Loving Jesus, as we face the challenges of the pandemic, as we look to the future, give us a hope in you and a confidence in your love to sustain us in the days to come.